Hi everyone, welcome to Games with Gabe. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2 to 5 player competitive game, Sabobatage, where we're all boba tea shop owners trying to be the best in town, but we can't all be the best, which is why we're going to be Sabobataging each other left and right. For the setup, we're going to want to make sure that these two menu cards are within reach of everyone at the table. These are our reference cards throughout the game. They're going to show us how to build our drinks, which we'll talk about in just a second, and they'll also have rules on the back for you to reference as you continue playing. Now, to get started, we want to make sure that everyone starts with 5 cards in their hand. Once you've dealt out your cards, you're going to take the rest and put them at the center of the table, creating a draw pile. To build a drink, you need 3 ingredients: a tea, a flavor, and a topping. However, you can't mix and match these however you like. You can refer to the menu card here, and it'll show you that you can either build a fruit-based drink or a milk-based drink. And it'll show you what teas and what flavors and what toppings are allowed to go together. You can also build a special drink by combining taro with either milk or oat milk. On your turn, you draw 2 cards, and then you can play up to 3 cards from your hand. When you play a card, you'll choose one from your hand, and then you'll place it in front of you. Once you've done that, you have placed it at a drink station. You have 7 possible drink stations that you can play cards at. So for example, if I chose this lychee jelly, I could play it at the same drink station where that black tea is, or I could put it on a new drink station to the right of that. And you'll also notice that with this lychee jelly, most of the times with the toppings, you'll see that there's also an action available. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card right away. Now I still have one more card that I can play, and in the deck you also have action cards. So for example, this BOGO card says that I can pick a random card from a player's hand and put it in your hand. Draw an extra card from the deck. To play this, I would place it in the discard, choose a player, steal a card, and then if that's successful, I would also get an extra card to take from the deck. Now the reason why I said you draw another card for the BOGO action if it's successful is because there's cards like this that exist. Customer loyalty, which says you can use this to negate another player's action used against you. So going back to the previous turn, if I had chosen to play this BOGO card to steal a card from a player, someone could easily just play this customer loyalty down, which would essentially cancel out that card. Now at the end of your turn, if you have more than 7 cards, you must discard until you go back down to only having 7 cards max in your hand. Also note that you're not allowed to move ingredients around once they've been played at a drink station. So I couldn't later on in the game take this milk and add it with this green tea and red bean just to give myself a completed drink. Because I played it here in a previous turn, it now has to stay here for the rest of the game. Now let's say for the next player's turn, they chose to play a green tea as their first card, a honey lemon flavor as their second card, and then the boba topping as their third card. The boba topping says they can draw or play an extra card, so maybe I chose to play this peach on a separate drink station. Now, because I have 3 ingredients, I've completed a drink, but that does not mean that this drink is safe for the rest of the game. For example, if another player played this tea party card, they would get to steal up to 2 tea cards on the table and place them on your table, meaning that they would play this card, and then let's say they chose a tea from the player to my right, but then they could take this green tea from me, making this now an incomplete drink, and they would put it in front of them. However, you do have cards like a straw card, which can be used to protect a completed drink. When you do that, you're essentially piercing the lid on your drink, and it's showing everyone that this is yours forever. So now, like, that tea party card would not be able to affect this drink because it's protected by that straw. You also have Boba Assurance, which acts similarly to a straw, except it's only good for one-time use. So when they played that tea party card, instead of getting that green tea, they would instead hit that Boba Assurance, and that would get knocked away, but you wouldn't lose the tea. Let's take a look at some of the worst sabotage, or maybe best sabotage if you're the one playing it, in the game. First, we have the health inspector, which says that I can choose a player and then choose one type of topping or flavor on their table, and they must trash all of them. However, it can't be used against wild ingredients. So if someone played this health inspector, they could call out boba, and I would have to discard both of these boba toppings into the discard pile, but it wouldn't affect that wild ingredient even if I'm technically using it as a boba topping. We also have the Sabobatage card, which says that I can destroy a total of 5 ingredient cards on the table from 1 or more players. all 5 cards must be declared before a player can play any counter cards. So if I played this Sabobatage card, or let's say someone else played it, right, they could choose to get rid of all 3 of these ingredients because it's not protected by a straw, and then they could choose 2 other ones at the table. They could target me, or they could look over here and see that this person has a drink with their milk and taro built up and choose to discard that as well. Once a player has 2 or more completed drinks on their turn, they will no longer be drawing 2 cards at the start, but instead they will be drawing 3 cards, which will give a little bit of pressure for other people to maybe start sabotaging them more. Once a player has completed building 5 drinks, then the game is over and they're considered to have the best shop in town. And there you have it. If you found this helpful, please click subscribe and like this video. If you have any questions about the game, leave it in the comments below and I'll reply as soon as I get a chance. Until next time though, have fun and game on.